Well, good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight. The Russia investigation, if you can remember that far back, was created to expose collusion between American politicians and operatives from foreign governments. Instead, so far, the investigation has simply exposed itself as corrupt and mismanaged. Newly released text messages from FBI agent Peter Strzok suggest high-level FBI operatives were not on the level about the investigation from the very beginning. Fox chief intelligence correspondent Catherine Harris joins us now with details. Catherine.
Well, thank you, Tucker. The text messages are a window into the FBI's highly charged internal politics under then-Director James Comey and suggest at least one senior investigator was skeptical the Russia probe would uncover wrongdoing. 2 days after Special Counsel Robert Mueller took over the probe in May, now demoted FBI agent Peter Strzok and now reassigned FBI lawyer Lisa Page discussed the merits of joining Mueller's team. Strzok tells Page, "You and I both know the odds are nothing. If I thought it was likely I'd be there, no question. I hesitate in part because of my gut sense and concern there's no big there. In another more cryptic text, Strzok writes, "I personally have a sense of unfinished business. Unleashed it with MYE, that stands for mid-year exam, the FBI's code name for the Clinton email case. And now I need to fix it and finish it." Another Republican who read the text said the FBI officials talk about a secret society within days of President Trump's victory.
There was a society of at least two people, to include Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, that had a desire to keep Donald Trump from becoming president, and then an expressed intent to work against him after he was elected president.
The FBI blames a technical problem for a 5-month gap in the Strzok-Page text and would not comment to Fox News on whether the Bureau has taken physical custody of their phones for a forensic review that could recover those texts. Tucker.
Catherine Harris, thanks for always being on this. Joe DiGenova is a former U.S. attorney in D.C., and he joins us tonight. Joe, thanks a lot for coming on.
My pleasure.
So on Special Report a little over an hour ago, Ron Johnson, the head of Senator, who's head of the Homeland Security Committee, suggested that the secret society referenced in these texts may have been an actual thing, and it may have met off-site, away from the FBI secretly. We don't know more than that. What does this suggest to you?
It suggests, as we have said from the beginning, that there was a brazen plot to illegally exonerate Hillary Clinton, and if she didn't win the election, to then frame Donald Trump with a falsely created crime. Everything that we have seen from these texts and from all the facts developing shows that the FBI and senior DOJ officials conspired to violate the law and to deny Donald Trump his civil rights.
What would be the motive for that?
The motive would be that they didn't like Donald Trump, they didn't think he was fit to be president, and they were going to do everything within their power to exonerate Hillary Clinton, and if she lost, to frame Donald Trump with a false crime because they didn't think he should be president.
What do you make of the claim that 5 months of text messages between Strzok and Lisa Page have somehow disappeared, as Lois Lerner's emails did, as Hillary Clinton's emails did?
Well, as an old United States attorney who has watched obstruction of justice over the years, that explanation from the Bureau is ludicrous. Those texts were either purposely destroyed, period. They were purposely destroyed. Moreover, they exist somewhere. I can assure you the NSA has them. Other companies have them. Verizon has them, AT&T. And if the Bureau can't figure out how to get them, they're in worse shape than I thought they were.
So you don't buy it at all?
No, absolutely not. Those texts exist, and if they don't exist, they were destroyed.
So you suggest this is obstruction of justice. How do we proceed if the country's chief law enforcement agency is itself guilty of that?
Well, the Attorney General needs to appoint a special counsel, and if he doesn't want to do that, he needs to make sure that the criminal division of the Justice Department impanels a grand jury immediately and starts putting in that grand jury under oath Comey, Strzok, Page, Baker, McCabe, everybody is, and senior Justice Department officials, Sally Yates, Bruce Orr, and others, John Carlin, the head of the National Security Division, all of these people need to be in front of a federal grand jury. We have long since passed the time when we need to have just congressional investigations for this. Make no mistake about it. A group of FBI and DOJ people were trying to frame Donald Trump of a falsely created crime.
Is there any possibility the Justice Department has already impaneled that investigation?
Oh, I certainly hope so, because we're long past the time when that should have been done. I hope they have. If they haven't, I can't imagine that they're not about to do so shortly.
Why is it so hard for the FBI to respond to legitimate and lawful requests for information from the Congress, which provides oversight?
It shouldn't be. I don't understand it. I must say Christopher Wray's performance has been extremely unimpressive with regard to how to lead an agency at a time of crisis, how to respond publicly, how to respond to Congress, how to carry out your duties. It has been an abysmal performance by Director Wray.
Strzok and Page apparently still working at the FBI headquarters here in Washington. Does that strike you as odd?
Strikes me as very odd. I cannot conceive of circumstances under which agents in these conditions, with the kind of text messages that they exchange, knowing what we know now about the criminal activity involving the compromising of National Security Agency intercepts of 702 data involving private American citizens. I can't imagine how they can still be on the premises.
Would they be cleared to see classified information?
I certainly cannot imagine how they would still be cleared to see classified.
But they have access to former colleagues, of course, or their present colleagues in the building.
Yes, members of the secret society no doubt continue to still talk to one another.
What can be, I mean, are there civil service rules? I mean, how could that be at this point?
I'm afraid only Christopher Wray knows why they are being allowed to stay in that building.
And last question, since you have been here for a long time and worked in this world for a long time, are we right to have real questions about the integrity of our justice system watching this?
Regrettably, we are at a point now where the FBI has lost almost all of its credibility and, regrettably, its integrity as a result of the conduct of James Comey, who remains America's most dirty cop.
Terrifying. Joe DiGenova, thank you very much for that.
Thank you.